Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today, sit a while for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 6 as part of the Ottawa Senators. So we are in November of 2001. October went pretty good, maybe a little low compared to our previous season standards. We went 8-4-1. That's still pretty good. Can't complain too much. We are second in the East, and we're looking pretty good. Nothing much to report here. There is one player that's interesting on the trade block, but he's hurt, so I'm not going to trade for him. That's Yaroslav Modry. He's 30. Maybe could bring a little bit of experience to my blue line. But other than that, there's not a whole lot going on. We are second in the East, so I was looking through here just for fun, and Mike Dunham already has 18 shutouts, and he hasn't been with the team for all that long, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not too sure why I came and checked in here, but I guess I just wanted to see the last times I did the playoffs and everything, but it's pretty cool. If you're playing this game and you've never really gone in here, you can see every player that has worn a certain number. So I think it's a cool little feature and everything. Jimmy Carson. Almost forgot that I had Jimmy Carson at one point, and I was really cheering for him. So yeah, that's what I've been doing while I was drinking my coffee prior to shooting the video. So, we are going to go ahead and continue. Looks like we have a lot of home games in November. That's a good thing. We can establish ourselves as one of the best teams in the East if we can continue to play really well at home. So let's get going and see what happens. Teemu Selanne's point streak ended at 16 games. Well, that sucks for him, I guess. He was held scoreless against New Jersey. Rod Bryden is very happy. Alright, well, thank you, sir. The league says no suspension for Yuri Fisher in plays with the Islanders now, so not suspended. Sammy Paulson in Colorado is suspended too. He's gonna miss 6 games. And okay. Alright, so Buffalo, we are hosting the Sabres. They're doing alright. Looks like they're turning it around. They had a few tough seasons there, but looks like, at least as of right now, looks like they're going to be turning it around. They are 7-5-2, and they're 6th in the East. We played one game against them, and we tied 2-2 back in Buffalo. So let's win this game. They're going to send Marty Bureau in net. We're sending Ryan Metter. And we won 6-1. So good start. Oh, we outshot them 52-17. Alexei Yashin was the first star of that game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Sheldon Souray was the second star with a goal and 2 assists. And Marian Osa was the third star with 2 assists. 13,492 people in attendance. So Alexei Yashin opened up the scoring in the first period, assisted by McCabe and Daniel Alfredson. And then Buffalo tied it up. It was 1-1 after 1. And after that, it was all us. We scored 4 times in the second. Bill Guerin from Yashin and Sheldon Souray. Then Yashin from Hossa and Phillips. Alfredson from Souray and Hossa. And Souray from Zdeno Chara and Joe Thornton. 5-1 after 2. And then finally in the third, Joe Newendike scored from Joe Thornton and Pavel Datsyuk. 6-1 is your final score. Ottawa Senators on top. Ooh, Keith Jones is available. Yeah, he's not doing much of anything. Keith Jones has no points in the last 2 years. Yeah, I'm not picking him up. And then Kevin Haller is getting a little old. 30 years old. Yeah, he's declining in ability, so I am not getting any of that. Suspension for Nashville's David Legwan. He's going to miss 6 games. Trevor Linden has tallied 1,000 games. So Linden has played in 1,000 games. Still plays for the Canucks. 31 years old, 3 stars, so still a decent player. Alright, and in 4 days we are hosting the Colorado Avalanche. So prior to this season, prior to shooting this video, I also was looking at my lineup, and I am very torn about what I'm going to do with Joe Newendike. This is his last year of contract, and I don't think Jason Spezza is really ready to step into a second or first center role yet. So I'll see how it plays out. I'll see how Spezza develops until then, and then I'll see what I do. If Newendike wants a short contract, like a year or 2, I might sign him again. We'll see. I might have to let him go though. League says no suspension for Wendell Clark. Probably felt sorry for his unfit ass, is my guess. Ron Francis has played in 1,500 games. 38 years old, Ron Francis. Still a 3-star talent, so he's still pretty good. Wow. How many points this year for Ron Francis? He still has 13 points in 16 games. He is still a capable player. Alright, so now we are playing at home against the Colorado Avalanche. Colorado's not having the domination that we've known them for in the start of the 2000s. At least not right now. They are 7-2, so they're playing for 500. Let's take a look at their lineup here. Alright, so Kevin Dean is hurt and on the injury list, so obviously he's not going to play. Sammy Paulson is suspended, as we saw, so who else do they have? Peter Budaj, Craig Billington. Eric Messi, Robin Regier. Oh, I think we played them in preseason. I cannot remember. Well, maybe not. John Michael Lyles. Okay. Potier, Edo, Tanguy Paulson, Jochen Hecht, Rick Wall, Forsberg, Sakic, Simpleton, Mark Parrish, Verbato, Nolan, Sundin. Yeah. God, I don't know if it's my scouts or if it's the game engine, but the, like, defensive-minded forwards are rated so high in this game. Manny Malhotra is a 3.5 stars, and then you have John Madden, that's a 4-star player, and I have Derek McKenzie that I traded for, that's, you know, a potential of 3.5 or 4 stars, I don't remember. Don't get me wrong, those guys are a good, you know, defensive forwards, but are they really a 3.5-star talent? That seems a little excessive. I mean, 3.5-star is like Daniel Alfredson. I mean, if you ask me who is better between Daniel Alfredson and Manny Malhotra, yeah. Now, of course, you know, you can't just go with the stars and everything. You have to look at the individual statistics and everything. But it seems that the game engine weights very highly the defensive stats or something like that. Anyway, so let's go ahead and play against the Avalanche. They're going to send Craig Bennington in net. We are going back to Ryan Metter. And we lost 5-2. So Ryan Metter is not quite ready yet. He's had a couple of stinkers yet, but he's also had a couple of good games, so he's kind of inconsistent, which is something that, you know, young goaltenders, most of them have to go through, so nothing too crazy there, but I don't like losing so much. Alright. So, lost 5-2. We outshot them 42-36. Joe Sakic was the first star of the game. He had 3 goals and an assist. So he had a hat trick. Matt Sundin, second star with 3 assists. And Craig Bennington, third star with 40 saves. We had 12,750 people in attendance. Nobody scored in the first period. There was just a bunch of penalties. Some fighting. Brian McCabe fought Owen Nolan. Cool. So we actually took a 2-0 lead in this game. So Shara scored the first goal of the game from Brian McCabe and Bill Guerin, and then Pavel Datsyuk on the power play from Thornton and Alfredson. And then it was all Avalanche after that. Sakic scored twice on the power play before the period was over. It was tied at 2. And he had a natural hat trick because he scored his 3 goals in succession. Another one on the power play. Wow, oh yeah, that's our undiscipline that's killed us. The 5 goals that the Avalanche scored were all on the power play, including Roman Hammerlick, who was just too happy to score against his old team. Oh, Shara is not suspended. That's good. We need him. And there was no stopping Joe Sakic. As we saw, he had 3 goals and an assist. Alright. Need to play better now. Shane Knighty is available. I tried to claim him like 2 times, I think. And I never managed to get him. Alexei Kovalev extends his point streak to 12 games. He had a goal against the Islanders. Alright. Sasha Gotch has a strong game for Carolina. He had 1 goal and 4 assists. Wow. Oh, that's something we should be seeing quite a bit. Suspension for Sean Avery. Sean Avery playing for the Red Wings. He's been suspended for 2 games. Alright, we are playing Nashville. So the Predators are in town. We are hosting them. It's pretty tough in Nashville this year. They are 4-11-1. So pretty tough season over there. Let's take a look at their lineup. Alright, so leg 1 is suspended as we saw. So Hackett and Tugnut in net. Dan Amos. Oh, I think we played them in preseason as well. Yeah. I remember that lineup. Well, it hasn't changed much since we played them. Yeah, they have Dan Snyder. I remember now. Okay. So let's beat them. We're playing at home. There's no reason to lose this game. Ron Tugnut is going to be in net for Nashville. And we're going to Mike Dunham and his 18 carrier shutouts for us. And we won 3-1. Oh, dear God. I think I just established a new record. We outshot Nashville 45-6. Nashville got 6 shot on goals, not in a period, in an entire game. And we still managed to allow a goal. So Sheldon Surrey was the first star of that game. He had 2 assists. Dan Snyder, second star with a goal, and Pavel Datsyuk, third star with an assist. 12,302 people in attendance. Dan Snyder actually opened up the scoring in the first. It was 1-0 Nashville after 1. Then in the second, we had Mike Selinger scored from Bill Guerin and Magnus Arvidsson, and then Joe Thornton from Sheldon Surrey and Pavel Datsyuk. It was 2-1 after 2. And Zdeno Chara scored in the third from Nieuwendyk and Surrey. And 3-1 is your final score. 6 shots on goal. Wow. Well, that's the new record to try to beat. Alexei Kalev's point streak ended at 12 games. He was unable to get a point against Buffalo. Mark Rickey has tallied 400 goals in his career. That's pretty good. He's 33, so still capable, 3.5 star player. He had 2 goals and 2 assists in that game. Really good game against the Panthers. Brendan Shannon has reached 1,000 games played against Phoenix. Didn't get a point till 32 years old. Wendell Clark has reached 1,000 games as well. Wow, it was a milestone night in the NHL. He had an assist to celebrate his 1,000th game. 35 years old, Wendell Clark, 2-star player. Jason Haddison has a good game. He had 4 assists against Atlanta. Pretty good. Still plays in Washington. In that same game, Peter Bundra has a memorable game with 3 goals and 2 assists. So he participated to all the 5 goals the Capitals scored. Alright, and speaking of the Capitals, our next game in 2 days. It's going to be in Washington. Washington's still struggling, so again, I apologize for anybody that's a Caps fan that might be watching me. The Capitals just can't turn it around. They've been bad for several seasons now. Great night from Mike Modano, who had a hat-trick, 3 goals against Anaheim. That's pretty good. Oh, we have a trade proposal from the Florida Panthers. I did put quite a few players on the trade block. It's just to gauge interest. I don't... I think you've seen by now I don't always trade or accept all the trades or anything like that. But sometimes it's nice to see if I can shake things up a little bit. So... let's see who is being offered and for whom. They are offering me Brian Helmer from Martin Havlat. Yeah, right. Okay. Sure. Okay, let's make sure I don't click on complete trade by accident. There you go. Alright, so the Capitals, as I was mentioning, it's been a little tough for them over there. They are 5-11-1 for 11 points, and they are 13th in the East. All right, I'm going to go ahead and... I apologize. I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording real quick. I will be right back. I have something I need to check on. Okay, I am back, and sorry for that. I used this time to get more coffee, but I heard noise in my house, which, you know, I'm alone, so right now, so I didn't want to become a headline on the news, small YouTuber murdered for drug money or something, which I don't have any money, so don't send anybody here to kill me. Alright, so we are playing in Washington. Again, you know, like I said, they are struggling. So let's take a look here. So still Olaf Kolzig getting it. Curtis Sanford as the backup. Wow, Curtis Sanford is considered a 3-star potential. That's interesting. Jason Collymore, Sergei Gonchar, Per Gustafsson, Craig Miller, Kevin Hatcher, Sean Hill, Kelly Ols, Brennan Botterill, Dimitri. Oh, Robert Cron is in Washington now. Pascal Dupuis, Jason Nelson, Metropolit, Elmanen, Nedved. Oh, it's tough for Peter Nedved in Washington. He's only an alpha star player now. Wow. Alright. Well, their team is not that. I mean, it's not good, but it's not that terrible. They should be able to start shaking things up a little bit and win some games. They have a few decent players. I mean, Bundra's pretty good. Jason Allison. I mean, Andrew Brunette, Gonchar, Kozig in there. I mean, they have some decent pieces. I'm not sure what's not working over there for them. Alright, so we are going with Ryan Miller in net, and they are going with Olaf Kozig. And we lost 2-1, so when I said that they should be winning some games, I meant after playing us. I didn't mean, that they should beat us. Alright, we outshot them 37-24. Kevin Hatcher was the first star of that game with an assist. Pavel Datsyuk was the second star for us with a goal. And Olaf Kozig, third star with 36 saves. Datsyuk opened the scoring in the first, assisted by Nieuwendyk and Sheldon Surrey. And then the Capitals would tie it up before the end of the period, so it was tied at 1. And then in the second, Jeff Alpern scored what would be the game winner. 2-1 is your final score. Suspension over for Sean Avery. He is back in the lineup in Detroit. And now we are going to be playing the Carolina Hurricanes, who are actually, having a decent season so far. So the leader of that division is not there by default. Actually, they're second in the East and we're third. They did play 4 more games than us, though. Oh, Jarkko Ruutu is there, huh? I was not a fan of the Sens getting Jarkko Ruutu. I never liked that guy too much, so I wasn't too happy when the Sens acquired him. Was not a favorite of mine for sure. All right, so we have played Carolina this year, and we won 7-0 in Carolina. Carolina is 13-8 for 26 points, so they are doing pretty good. All right, Sean Burke in net for Carolina. We are going with Mike Dunham. And we won 3-2. Being back home helped, probably. We outshot them 43-21. Martin Havlat was the first star. He had an assist. Pat Verbeek was the second star with a goal. And Brian McCabe was the third star with an assist. 13,178 people came to see us play. And we opened up the scoring in the first with Magnus Arvidsson scoring from Mike Sillinger and Martin Havlat. It was 1-0 after 1. Then we traded goals in the second. Craig Adams scored on the power play for Carolina to make it 1-1, but then Daniel Alfredson scored from Brian McCabe and Alexei Yashin. It was 2-1 for the Sens after 2. And we traded goals again in the third. Nicholas Avlid made it 3-1 from Bill Guerin and Matt Cullen. And then Carolina scored again. Oh, they scored 6 seconds later. Made it 3-2, but that was it. So, victory for the Suns. Chris Chelios has arrived at 1,250 games played in his career. He's 39, so he's he's behind the pace for Ron Francis, who played in 1,500 and is younger. Probably started his career at a younger age or something. Alright, so yep, 1,250 games played for Chelios. No point in the game. Shane Knighty in San Jose got suspended. He is going to miss 4 games. And we are playing Toronto next, still at home. Paul Carrier extends his point streak to 12 games. He had an assist against Columbus. Sammy Paulson is back in the lineup in Colorado. And now we are playing the Leafs. Toronto, we did play them in Toronto to start the season. We had a 4-1 win. Toronto is 9-9-1, so playing for 500. That gives them 9th spot in the East, so they can do better. As we remember from looking at their lineup, they really have a very average team, especially now that Doug Gilmour retired. They don't really have any star player right now, except maybe Giguère in net. So, which, you know, is the goaltender that they're sending, and we're going with Ryan Miller. And it's a shutout. We won 4-0. We outshot them 44-12, so pretty easy shutout for Ryan Miller. Marian Osa was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Daniel Alfredson, second star with 2 assists, and Alexei Yashin, third star with a goal and an assist. 13,682 crazed fans in the stands. Bill Guerin opened up the scoring from Derek Morris and Matt Cullen, and then Alexei Yashin from Alfredson and Marian Osa. It was 2-0 Sens after 1. Then Osa from Yashin and Shara, and Datsuk on the power play from Thornton and Daniel Alfredson. 4-0 is your final score. Good game for the Senators. Josef Stumpel keeps fans on their feet all night. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against Buffalo. So Stumpel's still in Boston, 29 years old. Pretty good. Paul Carrier extends his point streak to 13 games. He had a goal against Washington. All right. Next game is going to be at home against the Vancouver Canucks. Joe Sakic has achieved 1,200 points in his career. So he had a goal against New Jersey. He is 32, still a 5-star player, so he's still going to be good for a while. Always was a huge fan of Joe Sakic. All right, so Vancouver is struggling a little bit. They are 8-10-4, so that's a record that's kind of on par with their last season. If I remember correctly, they had kind of this around the same winning percentage. So they've been struggling in Vancouver. The Sydney Twins are probably not up to maturity yet, but they are playing in the NHL. Let's take a look at their roster here. It's our first time playing them this year. So, Matthias Ohlund is injured. Of course, that's not going to help them. It's probably one of their best defender, if not the best 3-star player. Yeah, that's their best defenseman. So they have Tommy Salo and Garth Snow in net. That's interesting. So Tommy Salo, who used to play for us. Kevin Otter, Brent Sopel, Nolan Baumgartner, Ben Clymer, Jirki Lume. He's 35. He's starting to decline a little bit. Aaron Ward and Yaroslav Spacek are on D. So that it's still a decent D, even without Matthias Ohlund. It's not too terrible, not too great either. Bates Battaglia, Daniel Sedin, Thomas Holmstrom, who is now in Vancouver. Jay Pandolfo, Josh Holden, Lyndon Pekka, Running, Shubarov, Pavel Bure, Henrik Sedin, Radek Dvorak, Ivanen, and Peter Schaefer. That team is not too terrible. They probably should be able to turn it around a little bit. Last time I said that, the team that I said that for beat me, so hopefully I'm not jinxing myself again. So let's see, Tommy Salo in net for the Canucks. We are going back to Ryan Miller. And we won 4-1. Good job. We outshot Vancouver 63-14. Matt Cullen is the first star of the game with 2 assists. Bill Guerin, second star with 2 goals. And Zdeno Chara, third star with 2 assists as well. 13,561 people in attendance. Alright, so nobody scored in the first, and then Trevor Linden opened up the scoring for the Canucks in the second, and then we scored our 4 goals right after that in the second period. So all the goals in the game were scored in the median period. Sheldon Surrey scored from Alfredson and Zdeno Chara. Then Bill Guerin scored his first of 2 goals from Chara and Cullen. And then Guerin again from Matt Cullen. And finally Marian Osa on the power play from Alexei Yashin and Joe Newendike. Nice little game for the Senators again. Steve Yzerman has a good game. He had 4 assists against Nashville. Pretty good. Ooh, Steve Yzerman is starting to decline a little bit. He's only a 4-star player anymore. He's 36. David Legwan is back in the lineup in Nashville. That's good for them. Paul Carrier extends his point streak to 14 games. He had 2 goals and 2 assists. Oh, he did that pretty good, huh? Against Tampa Bay. Right, and tomorrow we are playing against Calgary at home. So, hosting a few Western teams here. Oh, there's only 3 games left. Wow, that makes for a short episode. No further action needed for Dave Manson in Dallas. So he is not suspended. Dave Manson is now only an alpha star player. So not exactly an unspeakable force anymore. Paul Carrier extends his point streak to 15 games. He had a goal and an assist against Florida. So Carrier is on a nice little streak there. What does it look like? 33 points in 22 games. Yeah, that's pretty good. The Mighty Ducks are lucky to have you. Red light stays on for Jaromir Jagr, who had 4 goals and 1 assist against Vancouver in a 9-2 trouncing. Wow. Now keep in mind, Pittsburgh has Mario Lemieux out for quite a while. We did that. We as the Ottawa Senators. So, yeah. Good night for Ron Francis. In that same game, he had 5 assists. Yeah, those are pretty good games indeed. Alright, so we are playing the Flames. So again, the Flames are struggling a little bit. At the end of October, I believe they were the worst team in the West. So looks like they might have turned it around a little bit. They still don't have a great record, so they are 7-11-2. Let's take a look at them. Nobody injured. Alright, so they have Super and Mike Vernon. And Mike Vernon is 38 years old, and he's an alpha star. So Super is probably the starter, and he had like that good workout thing happen to him in the off season. So he is a star and a half. Is he the one playing though? Yeah, he played 12 of the games. Looks like he was the starter last year too. Good job. Alright, then they have Hal Gill, Aki Berg, Tony Ludman, Cal McLaren, Alexander Karpovtsev, which was one of the offers that I got for Roman Hammerlich, but I didn't take it. It was one of the ones that I kept until the end. I was like, yeah, maybe I can replace it. And then I was like, no, I want to make Derek Morris play, so I really wanted a forward for Roman Hammerlich, and that played into the balance as to why I traded him for Ladislav Nagy. And Al McInnes, he's 38, still a 3.5-star player, so oof. It's a little bit tougher for him in the points department. Well, not that much. I mean, he only had 25 points last season, but it was in 32 games. He must have been hurt or something. Brian Muir, Petrasic, Cowan, Janssen, Stillman, Bégin, Reichel. Oh, Chuck Kubisu, I had forgotten about that guy. Yeah, it's yeah, look at that. There's a lot of like one-star players and everything. I can understand why it's tough in Calgary this year. They're going with Mike Vernon in net. We are going with Ryan Miller. And we won 6-1. We outshot the Flames 50-29. Joe Nieuwendyk was the first star against his former team, 2 goals and an assist. Marian Osa, second star, a goal and an assist, and Daniel Alfredson, third star with 2 assists. 12,971 people in attendance. Brian McCabe was the first one to score a goal, assisted by Pavel Datsyuk, and then Marian Osa scored his 10th from Daniel Alfredson and Alexei Yashin. It was 2-0 Sens after one. Then the Flames scored in the second, but we scored 2 more. Joe Thornton from Nieuwendyk and Sheldon Surrey, and Yashin from Alfredson and Osa. It was 4-1 for the Sens after 2. And then in the third, Joe Nieuwendyk scored his 2 goals. So the first one assisted by Avlid, and the second one on the power play from McCabe and Bill Guerin. Marian Osa injured day-to-day for about 6 days. That's not good. I like Marian Osa. I don't want for him to be hurt. Bruised hip. It's only day-to-day, so I am not going to send him to the injured reserve or anything like that. Alright, so we are about to play at home again against Atlanta. Matthew Schneider has recorded 600 points in his career with 2 goals against the Atlanta Thrashers. And Schneider's still playing in Montreal, 32 years old, 3-star player, still pretty good. No additional missed time for Los Angeles Kimmo Timonen, so not suspended. There was no stopping Kip Miller, who had a hat-trick 3 goals against Columbus. Pretty good game. Joel Bouchard in Dallas is not suspended, so it was Dave Manson a little bit earlier. Now it's Joel Bouchard, so they're playing rough, but they're not being suspended. Alright, we are now playing against the Thrashers, which we have beaten earlier this month, I think? Or was it the month before? It was a month before that we played in Atlanta and we beat them 7-2. Now we are hosting them. Yeah, they are the worst team I'm pretty sure in the league. They are 3-15-3 for dead last in the East by a mile. Well, not by that much. They're only 3 points behind the Florida Panthers. Right, so let's go ahead and play the Thrashers and see what happens. So they are sending Cujo in net, Curtis Joseph. We are going with Ryan Miller. And we won 3-1. Doesn't always have to be a 7-1 trouncing. So we outshot them 63-13. Daniel Alfredson was the first star of that game. He had a goal. Matt Hartigan was the second star with a goal. And Derek Morris was the third star with a goal as well. 13,772 people in attendance. So, actually, Mark Hartigan scored the first goal of the game on the power play unassisted 19 seconds in. So, within 19 seconds, there was a penalty and a goal. And then Pavel Datsyuk tied the game up in the first on the power play from Yashin and Bill Guerin. And then in the second, we had Daniel Alfredson from Sheldon Surrey and Andreas Dackel. And in the third, Derek Morris scored his first goal of the season from Joe Nieuwendyk and Magnus Arvidsson, made it 3-1 for the Sens, and that's our final score. And with that, we only have 1 game left in this month. New York's Blake suspended, so Jason Blake with the Islanders is suspended. He's going to miss 7 games. Oh wow, and Rafi Torres is missing 7 games as well. What happened in that game? Dear God. The Islanders got 2 of their forwards to be suspended for 7 games each. Wow. Paul Carrier extends his point streak to 16 games. He had a goal and an assist. It was in that game because that happened against the Islanders. Whew. Well, I'm glad it's not my players that are that undisciplined. Alright, so in 2 days we are playing in St. Louis. Oh, that's a weird road game all by itself. Open ice leads to a productive night for Mike Modano, who had 4 assists against the Wild. That's a pretty good game. Paul Carrier extends his goal streak to 5 games and point streak to 17 games with a goal against the Rangers. So Paul Carrier is tearing it up. I should trade for him. Just joking, I already have plenty of star players. Most of which are, pretty young, so. And we're about to enter the cap era. I'm gonna need to make some tough choices. I might cry. I'll mute my microphone if that happens. I'll spare you the lamentations. Alright, so we did play against St. Louis already this year. It was at home and we won 5-4. The Blues still not doing all too great, so they've been kind of struggling in my universe. They are 8-11-3 for 19 points. And we're going with Ryan Miller. They are going with Chris Mason. Ooh. Wow, that was quite the high-scoring affair. We won 8-7 in overtime. So, not the goaltenders were not the stars in that game. So we outshot them 46-45. So it was run and gun all the way, 8-7 game. That's pretty high score here. Brian McCabe was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 3 assists. Steve Hines for St. Louis was the second star with a goal and 2 assists. And Bill Guerin was the third star with a goal and an assist. So let's see. So we took a 3-0 lead into the first. So Guerin scored his 10th from McCabe and Yashin. Matt Cullen from Bill Guerin and Andreas Dackel. And then Joe Nieuwendyk from Magnus Arvidsson and Joe Thornton. It was 3-0. St. Louis scored. It was 3-1, and then we scored again. It was Brian McCabe on the power play from Datsyuk and Joe Nieuwendyk. So we were up 4-1 after 1. Then we moved on to the second period. Not Toronto, St. Louis scored twice, made it 4-3 for us. Then Alexei Yashin scored on the power play from McCabe and Datsyuk. Then St. Louis scored again. It was 5-4. Then we scored again. Matt Cullen from Sammy Salo and Brian McCabe. It was 6-4 Sens. And then they scored twice more before the end of the second, made it 6-6. Then we traded goals in the third period. Yann Laperriere gave St. Louis their first lead of the game, made it 7-6 St. Louis, but Joe Thornton tied the game up. Assisted by Magnus Arvidsson with 1 minute and 43 seconds left to go into the game. And then Pavel Datsyuk played the hero in overtime, assisted by Joe Thornton. 8-7 the final score. What a final game for the month. 8 scored goals. Alexei Zamnov extends his point streak to 12 games, so he also has been on a quiet little streak here. He had an assist against Columbus. Shane Knighty, suspension ends. He's back in the lineup in San Jose. Alright, so the next game is going to be on December 1st. So we're going to sim all the way to there. Paul Carrier extends his point streak to 18 games. He's unstoppable. 2 assists against Edmonton. He's probably among the league leaders for points for sure now. Alright, Osa's starting to feel better. That's good. Just sad that he missed that crazy 8-goal game. I'm sure he would have gotten a few points. Suspension for Rod Brennamore in Philadelphia. He's suspended for 2 games. Alexei Zamnov's point streak ended at 12 games. Marian Osa is almost back. Oh, Jason Shimura in Edmonton has received a diagnosis after an injury during team practice today. And it's a fractured eye socket, and he's going to miss 5 months. Oh my god. I'd be upset if it was like, Marian Osa or, Joe Thornton or something like that, getting a 5-month injury that happens during training. Oof. Alright, we are November 30th, so we are going to be simming one more day. Vyacheslav Kozlov has scored 300 goals in his career. He had 2 goals against New Jersey. He's 29, he's a 2-star player, slowing down a little bit. Paul Carrier's point streak ended at 18 games. He was held scoreless against San Jose. Alright, well, I wouldn't say I was cheering for you, but it was kind of nice to follow. We don't see those all that often anymore because the scoring is way down at the start of the 2000s. So it was nice while it lasted. Okay, Osa's ready to go. Alright, and Milan Nelichka and Sergei Fedorov are the players of the month. So Nelichka plays in Dallas, and Fedorov, of course, plays for Detroit. Alright. So let's see where we're at here. After 2 months in the 2001-2002 regular season, we are 3rd in the East. So actually Tampa Bay is better than us, and New Jersey is as well, although Tampa Bay did play 1 more game than us. So we have 33 points. That's still pretty good. I mean, we're 16-6-1. That's nothing to sneeze at all. But yeah, a little bit tougher to be at the top here right now. Let's look at the West a little bit here. Alright, so in the West, Chicago is first. Edmonton, Anaheim, Detroit, Columbus is still in the mix. That's good. Colorado, Dallas, and Vancouver. And then the Wild is pushing for a playoff spot. That's cool. And then Nashville is having a hard time, but not as much as Atlanta. Atlanta is the worst team in the league. And now it's true that it's not even close. Wow. They must be wanting for Kovalchuk and Danny Eatley to develop real quick. And if we look at our stats here, let's see, who's still a point per game? Yashin has 29 points in 23 games. Alfredson 26 in 23. Bill Guerin is also a point per game, so he's having a little bit of a resurgence season here. 23 points in 23 games. Osa falls just short, 20 points in 21 games. Brian McCabe is our best offensive defenseman, 19 points in 23 games. So that trade that I made a long time ago is starting to pay off. Yeah, he's 26 now, and he's developed into a 2.5-star player. So, of course, at one point he was a 4-star potential. The potential went all, through all kinds of ranges and everything. That's about where I was expecting him to end up at, 2.5 stars. He's having a pretty solid season for us right now. Shar is starting to come into his own as well. So pretty decent season here. If we look into the league, surely Polkaria is somewhere. Yeah, he's the second best point scorer. Kovalev is the best goal scorer. He has 23 goals so far this season. Sundin has 24 assists. He's the best passer. And Teemu Selanne is the best scorer in the league right now with 41 points. And then we have Kariya, Kovalev, Sakic, Sundin, Yager, Fyodorov. And we have Alexei Yashin down there with 29 points. He's 11th in the league. Alright, so we're still in a pretty good position. I'm not expecting to make any super rash decisions. I mean, it could always happen if I see somebody that I really want on the trade block or something. But I really like my team the way it is right now. And I'm going to have a tough decision to make when with Joe Nieuwendyk when we get there. So maybe you can let me know what you think about it. Should I resign Joe Nieuwendyk or should I let him go? He's 35. Let me save the game here and we can go and take a look at that. So Joe Nieuwendyk is 35 years old. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent after this season. He's still a 3-star player. He's still, getting points. He has 18 and 23. He has slowed down a little bit compared to what he has given me in the past, but he's still pretty good. Right now, he's acting as my second-line center. So, what do you think that I should do? I don't think that Jason Spezza is ready. He's still an alpha star player. He's only 18. So what do you think I should do? Should I trade for another center after this season? Should I let Joe Nieuwendyk go? Should I re-sign him for a couple seasons until Jason Spezza is ready? Should I maybe try to get a stopgap as a free agent or something like that? So feel free to let me know what you think about Joe Nieuwendyk. I'm definitely going to listen to advice that you might have because I'm a little torn. He's right at that sweet spot where I want to let go of the player because he's getting old, but I'm not sure that I have a suitable replacement. So let me know what you think. So that's going to be it for today. As usual, I want to thank you for tuning in. And if you've liked the video, feel free to like and subscribe. Apparently, YouTube might have to do away with likes. So while the likes are still there, if you want to leave me one, I would appreciate it. And, well, until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.